Thank you for joining me, Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist. We're going to do some narc work. We're going to look at some narcissistic information from a pretty popular diagnosis person on narcissism. Got a bit of background noise. We're on the run. Let's see what happens.
I'd be thinking that this is totally over. Could it be that the narcissist is secretly wishing that you would come back to them? What are they actually thinking? This relationship is done and you're like, okay, I'm moving on, but why are they still hanging around? Like, why can I still energetically still feel them? Why are they still messaging me? Why are they watching my social media? Do they secretly wish that you could come back to them? And if they are, how can you tell? Watch this video because I'm going to explain it. Welcome back. I hope that you're all doing really well. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about, does the narcissist secretly wish that you would come back to them? Do they wish and regret the fact that they have been so awful to you, the way that they have treated you? You know, what are they actually thinking? It might be that actually, you know what, that you are still hearing some sort of communication from them. Maybe they're messaging you, maybe they're on your social media, maybe they're watching your stories and things that you are doing, and then there's this interest that's kind of going around and you're like, well, what is this about? Like, you know, we've finished, why are you still here? So I'm going to be talking about this. If this is something that you are going through, I'm going to talk about whether they still secretly wish that you would come back to them, and also what is going on. Why does this happen? Do they even think this? But before I get into the video, I just quickly want to mention that I do go live on this channel once a week, and if you have any questions or there's something on your mind, I would say join the live, because you have a possibility that your question could get answered there and then. Also, you have to check out the lively live chat that's going on alongside the lives. We have a really supportive, amazing community that if you have any questions and maybe they don't get answered in the live, I am sure that the community will be able to help you out. And if you want more information, I would say please see the description box below for more details. Right, okay. So, does the narcissist secretly miss you and wish?
I can tell you right now, and you would know yourself, if it hasn't been a breakup that's between you two people in a bad way, of course they're going to want to try and work out something. But they won't, because they're stubborn. This is why there was no resolve. There was a stubbornness presented towards the unresolved. And the unresolved became more important than the relationship. Now, if somebody's got that mindset and you make a stand, you come up with the objection that you're sick and tired of this problem, whatever it is, not being fixed. A lot of these times, these people will reverse antidote you. They'll reverse antidote you. They'll think that you have to have an antidote for a problem that you can't fix. And what that is a severe serial form of denial. They don't want to fix the problem. They know the ball's in their court, it's coming from out of their side of the field, but it might cause a further conflict with the person. It could be a third party problem. Most of the time people don't want to break up unless there's some kind of dark triad, micro characteristic dark triad form of behaviour going on. Maybe with an element of unresolved, they've had to self-soothe or find a way of soothing through another person. This can get complicated. Listen to this for a minute, right? Okay. You've got a problem with a friend or a family member which is causing tension in the relationship and separation, right? You're wondering why there's no resolve. I'll tell you why there's no resolve. Because there's an element of influence from that person that your partner is believing, right? And it's undermining their confidence in the relationship. Now, they'll keep showing up physically, but the measure's in their mentality. Where are they mentally? Okay? Now, unless this person's going to communicate with you and they're honest and an integral person and really want to have a relationship, you're not going to know what's going on. Because a lot of these people, when they've got external interferers trying to influence them against their relationship, unless they're sold out for the relationship, you are going to be dealing with a person that I call is purging. They're moving towards or trying to play a role in the relationship, but they're purging because they got doubts as well. Doubts that are coming through infiltration influences by third-party people. Now, say you're got a problem with one of the children. Say you're a third wheel person. You've got a partner and they've got children. You know the children are going to have their position in their heart and mind maternally and stuff. But sometimes these children can go micro, characteristic, dark, triad influence against a relationship, right? Now, the mother can hold this off to a point, but there will be an element of her psyche that will side with that out of faithfulness to the maternal bond, right? Which really is taking some of the substructure out of the strength of the relationship, because she'll sense this. Then, right, that person, if you start, or she or he starts to find tension coming from you in terms of wanting to get a resolve, but they're stalling, they're not pursuing a resolve, and that's building tension. This could cause the partner to reach out to another external source for soothing, right? This is how affairs and all this begin and start, because they're having a relationship with you now, but it's not on an integral level. It's gone evil. And if you haven't got the discernment and the insight and the spiritual abilities to sense that something just is not right, and the courage to be able to go, oh, this is real, something's not right, then if that person's in an emotional affair now, she's got the conflict with the children. Children don't like you. They're not going to like anybody else either, by the way. Then she's got the external source of soothing through another person on the outside of the relationship that's of the opposite sex. And then you're starting to pick up the vibes from not just the children, but her, because now she's completely drifting out of order. And this has not got nothing, absolutely nothing to do with you. And a lot of these people are going down the narcissistic, these people are narcs and that. They're just dysfunctional people that are unable to sort out the simplest of things. Everything comes back to a person's ability to resolve. Everything. And as soon as you're with somebody that's unable to resolve, forget about all this narc and all this, forget about that. You've got to work around the problems. And if the person that you're with is not fixing the problems, right, get out. Back out. You've got trouble. That's called trouble, a troubled person. Now, if they're surrounded by troubled people, how do you think they're going to find a solution to their problems? They're not, because they're incapable of doing it. Those problems will sit there, they'll stew, they'll fester, and the next thing you know, the person's self-serving in bed with somebody else. Because the problems aren't relative to that person. They're only relative to you. They've been created. All of this is created around you. That's how this evil works. And if you haven't got the discerning abilities to understand that all this is happening, all by the view of unresolved, then you need to get down and get some information on how to discern and understand how evil works so that you can protect yourself. A lot of people, good people, are in relationships where people are physically turning up, but they're not mentally there. They're just vampiring these people. They're not fixing any problems. They've got separation working in through their side of the relationship, and they're putting the unresolved before the relationship. That means they value something that's trouble to the relationship more than the relationship. That's your signal to exit. That's your indication to immediately detach. If you know there's a problem and the person's not willing to fix it, you've got to detach. There's no other choice. You're going to get smashed otherwise. Anybody that knows the Pro One Theologist channel, or the Pro Theologist channel now, knows that I always used to say when I was helping cult members get out of their cults, don't let your faithfulness and loyalty blind you from the life you should be living now. Don't let these people blind you from the life you should be living now. This is Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.